is the founder of Green Marlborough for residents and businesses coming together to work on energy and environmental issues. She brings to us this morning the community collaborative grassroots efforts that are working so well in Marlborough and that we hope to emulate in many of the other towns in Metro West, some of whom are already involved with green community programs and committees. And we are delighted to hear from Jen, and I will also mention that she has recently created a new company called Green Workforce Training to provide workforce training solutions for the emerging green and clean energy economy. So we're pleased to have Jennifer Boudrie with us from Green Marlborough.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Helen, for inviting me to speak today at this Metro West Leadership Forum, and thanks, Steve, for acknowledging Green Marlborough and our work, and Vincent for mentioning the Green Communities Act. As a famous Norwegian once said, a community is like a ship. Everybody ought to be prepared to take the helm. So this is my 10 minutes at the helm. I was asked to speak to you about how I brought together people to work on sustainability issues, raise awareness, and save money in the community. And the best way to do that, I think, is just to describe my experience. First, let me say that I had an interest in environmental education 25 years ago, but became a part-time college English teacher, and then became a full-time instructional designer and a small businesswoman. I created training programs at more than 20 companies, biotech, high-tech, manufacturing, and healthcare. And I went to companies to assess their training needs, wrote grants, hired and trained staff, and designed and directed programs. Then in 2006, I decided to invest my 20 years of experience in the environment in my community. So in 2006, I started educating myself. I watched the movie An Inconvenient Truth for inspiration. Then I read books, surfed the internet, cruised a lot of conferences listening to experts. And I joined the only green group in Marlborough, the Recycling Committee, which Peggy, bless her heart, had been holding together for 9 years. I joined the eco team in Newton, led by Dan, who has been inspiring people for decades at Newton Green Decade. I weatherized my home to cut carbon and started saving $600 a year from home energy savings. I could go on, but you get the idea. I learned a lot. By 2007, I was ready to do something for the environment, and I didn't know exactly what. So at a conference, someone suggested I do something for my community, and that clicked. I loved the idea. So I researched what other communities were doing by going online and found a lot of good information at massclimateaction.net. Then I wrote a one-page proposal and introduced myself to the greenest person I could think of in my city, the conservation officer. And fortunately, that led me to Priscilla. She's been wonderful. Then I met city leaders and asked for and got permission to write the energy and environmental inventory for Marlborough. It benchmarked the city's energy consumption, water consumption, and carbon footprint in 2006. We discovered that carbon emissions in Marlborough in 2006, for a population of about 37,000 people, was almost 1 billion pounds of carbon, and our community is normal. In 2008, the conservation officer and I co-led the Marlborough Energy and Environmental Task Force. We had representatives from 5 sectors: residential, business, municipal, energy, and transportation. They reviewed the Sustainability Action Plan that I put together, which you can find online at greenmarlborough.org. So, in 2007, I decided to create a group for residents. I let the city officials know I was going to do that so they wouldn't freak out, and they didn't. So we call ourselves Green Marlborough. We're a group of residents and business people. We're largely long-time residents and professionals. Our goal is to inspire and educate people about energy and sustainability. We've had several projects before that stand out. Our Green Marlborough website, greenmarlborough.org. Our second annual Earth Day Fair, which is coming up on May 2nd at Gorman Park to teach people about energy and sustainability. Low carbon diet groups based on this excellent book. How many have heard this book, Low Carbon Diet? Oh, you should. Good. And we have a local TV show called Green Marlboro, where we interview experts on energy and sustainability. Energy efficiency, water conservation, green purchasing, recycling, and other sustainability topics. In 2008, I was asked to become the director of a sustainable business program in Boston, which I did part-time. Then it was given to a young woman whom I trained for 4 months. I continued my efforts in Marlboro, and then in 2009, this year, I decided to create a new business called Green Workforce Training. You can read about it online at greenworkforcetraining.com. So, when I started all this in 2006, I had 2 things in mind. One was to build relationships, and 2, focus on projects that reduce carbon emissions. That was it. Those 2 things led me to work with city leaders, residents, business people, to make a difference in my community. Now I'm networking people across sectors to help initiate and plan and implement projects that reduce carbon emissions and save money. I want to give you 3 concrete examples of projects. Number 1, an instructional designer. I'm in love with this book. The Low Carbon Diet. Groups of 5 to 8 households can meet 3 to 4 times to learn from this well-organized book that empowers people to make changes in their own homes, such as energy and water conservation, recycling, green purchasing, transportation choices, and much more. The goal is for the average household to lose 5,000 pounds of carbon and enjoy energy savings. My household saves more than $600 a year. I know another household that saves over $2,000 a year just from energy savings. Number 2, traffic lights. Last June, our red, yellow, and green municipally owned traffic light bulbs were replaced with energy-efficient LED traffic lights. LED lights use far less electricity than regular lights, so our city will save thousands of dollars each year. It took 2 residents, 1 state senator, and 2 city officials to get a small grant for that project. In number 3, in 2008, the Marlboro Energy and Environmental Task Force met 6 times to review the Sustainability Action Plan I mentioned earlier. The people on the task force were 3 residents, a resident who worked for National Grid, a resident who was getting her master's certificate in sustainable design, and me, I was a co-chair and author. 3 municipal department heads, the conservation officer, who was the other co-chair and who was the meeting facilitator, the facilities director, who was in charge of all the municipal buildings, and the DPW assistant commissioner, who was the first person who worked for the city to get a hybrid car. 3 business leaders, the vice president of sustainability at Fidelity, a resident and chemist from Roman Haas, and the Marlboro 2010 Economic Development Chairperson, and 3 energy experts, our city representatives from National Grid, Star, and the Municipal Electricity Aggregation. 1 transportation expert was a longtime resident too. So this group will help guide the implementation of the action plan in the future, and fortunately this initiative dovetails with the emerging Green Community Program that Massachusetts Department of Energy Resources initiated this year. How many of you have heard of the Green Communities Program? Good, great. I believe this program will create energy efficiency and renewable energy growth in our communities. If you're interested in information on green communities, go to mass.gov/DOER. Becoming a green community will cut costs and cut carbon, and this is important. But in addition to saving money, I think we should start about making money and taking action to cut carbon. I want to talk about green jobs for a minute. Green jobs are growing. Colleges and universities are beefing up their programs to prepare students for future green jobs. The current workforce is greening up too. For example, contractors who are out of work during this economic slump are looking for jobs to weatherize homes and help with renewable energy installations. Retraining people on the job has amazing potential.